Today, we're digging into something that's reshaping how software businesses survive. The idea that product market fit in the AI era has fundamentally changed. If you think you've already found your market fit and your company's safe, pay close attention because the requirements for PMF are shifting. Think about it this way. What happens when the finish line you just crossed suddenly moves? Your fit might be unraveling without you even realizing it. And user expectations are shifting so fast that a product that felt magical a year ago can feel like a chore today. The baseline has completely reset. So let's get into the shift from the old world of software into our new reality. For years, founders were taught to treat product market fit as a one-time milestone. You build the product, iterate, find the pain point, watch retention climb, and cross the finish line. Fit achieved. Under that model, your main job was just to protect it with sales and marketing. But here's the new reality. PMF is now a fluid, continually adapting system. It's not something you find once anymore. It's something you have to keep re-earning. And a static solution decays as the alternatives get faster, cheaper, and more capable. Investor Tomas Tungus put it well. He compares product market fit to airline status. You don't hit platinum once and get to keep it forever, regardless of how much you fly the next year. You re-earn it year after year just to hold your position and keep the benefits. And just like that, markets don't care about your past milestones. The moment you stop delivering cutting-edge value, your status is revoked. And that brings us to a real danger zone, which is collapse driven by rising expectations. And this is what the Reforge framework calls product market fit collapse. The crucial point is that the bar is no longer static. Users aren't just comparing your dashboard to a competitor's dashboard anymore. They're comparing your software to instant personalized tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. And nowadays, people expect their software to actively reason, synthesize, and generate real solutions, not just passively store and retrieve data. If your software isn't getting smarter and faster at executing tasks, it's actively falling below the market's new threshold. Because here's the thing, AI specifically attacks the gap between a user's problem and their desired outcome. Look at real-world casualties like Chegg in education, or Stack Overflow for developers. Both of these companies offered platforms to help users find answers. But AI didn't just step in and optimize their search bars. It completely bypassed the need to search in the first place by instantly generating the exact specific answer the user needed. Now, if your tool just helps people organize their work or hunt for information, AI is going to step right in and execute that work directly. Workflow ownership is everything now. So let's shift gears a bit and talk about the illusion of AI value and the critical difference between features versus actual fit. Slapping a generative AI feature onto an existing product does not mean that you've secured durable market fit. McKinsey data shows us that while AI adoption is broad across organizations, there's a lack of scaled enterprise-level impact. We're seeing a lot of thin AI wrappers, products that just duct tape a generic model onto a workflow, and they're highly vulnerable to irrelevance. Sure, initial curiosity might drive up feature usage temporarily, but novelty wears off really fast when the core economics of a business remain the same. So here's the big question for durability. Does your product actually change customer behavior? Because AI is great at producing these initial wow moments, but a lot of the time, those don't translate into real business value. So ask yourself these questions. Does my software replace a tedious or expensive manual task? Do my customers trust the output without having to double check the work? Does it seamlessly become part of their daily operating rhythm? If the answer is no, your fit is probably fragile. Now, to track all of this flowing data, we need a big upgrade. So let's take a look at some AI-ready performance metrics. Because if you want to evolve in this era, your metrics have to evolve dramatically as well. Because classic SaaS metrics aren't cutting it anymore. You can't just measure simple feature usage. You have to measure activation to real value, meaning how fast the user actually gets a usable AI outcome. And seat count, that's giving way to workflow penetration. Is the AI deeply embedded where the actual work is happening? Or is it just some side tab that no one ever clicks? Even NPS scores have to adapt to include a strict measure of output, quality, and trust. So this is huge, right? Because if users get hallucinated errors, they won't just leave a bad review. They'll abandon the tool completely. And finally, standard MRR needs to be backed up by undeniable economic proof and a highly repeatable go-to-market motion. Tying all of this together, here's the new system to actually operationalize this fit. This is going to be your new blueprint for continuous adaptation. First, when you're talking to customers, focus entirely on the work they're trying to get done, not the shiny new features they think they want. You've got to build your product around the job to be done instead of just building another generic platform. Second, make trust visible right inside the product. Users need to know why an AI made a certain decision. Citing sources or showing the reasoning steps builds massive confidence. Third, price your product around proven, measurable value, not just access. If you save them 10 hours of labor, price based on that outcome. And lastly, constantly reevaluate your fit across different customer segments because an enterprise adapts at a wildly different pace than a small business does. So I want to leave you with this one final provocative thought. If you're still treating product market fit like a badge you earned once and just stick on your homepage, you're completely exposed. So you have to ask yourself, are you building for a static finish line, or are you embracing continuous adaptation to build a resilient system that evolves right alongside your customers? The ground is shifting out there. Keep learning and keep adapting.